Night at 11 on News Channel 5. December 24th, 1992.
A primetime undercover investigation.
You're looking at somewhere around $100, $120.
Repairmen ever suspect they were ripping you off? Well, ours were.
But they charged us $135.
They stole $135.
Our hidden cameras caught shady repairmen taking advantage.
You just sold us our own keyboard back.
Tonight, it's time to get even.
Hi, I'm Chris Wallace.
I've been watching you.
Well, good. We've been watching you too, as a matter of fact.
Chief correspondent Chris Wallace confronts them on their own turf.
So what's your point here? What are you trying to do?
Because we wanted to see whether you do it honestly, and you didn't.
We'll take your business somewhere else.
CC News with anchors Diane Sawyer in New York, Sam Donaldson in Washington, Chief Correspondent Chris Wallace, Judd Rose, Jay Shadler, Sylvia Chase, John Quinones, and Renee Poussaint. This is Prime Time. Prime Time. Now from Washington, Sam Donaldson.
Good evening and Merry Christmas. We're on tape tonight so that we can be home with our families for the holiday. But in case you find any VCRs or CD players under the tree, you'll definitely want to see this report. It deals with one of the biggest con games in America, repair fraud. As we told you when we first brought you this hidden camera investigation earlier this year, there are honest repair shops out there. But in most states, anyone can hang out a shingle and claim to be a qualified repairman. Which means, as Chief Correspondent Chris Wallace reports, more often than not, you're not getting a repair, you're getting ripped off.
It is one of those human dramas played out every day in millions of homes. The VCR shreds your favorite tape. The computer screen goes blank, and you're suddenly at the mercy of a repairman. Who doesn't have a story to tell?
They had wired it incorrectly. They put blue on black or black on something.
I mean, every screw is out of it, the whole guts are out of it.
Now they said it would be $250 because they
They can literally say anything to you.
I think they were trying to take advantage of me.
It's the #1 way in America that you get exploited, period.
It's a suspicion that turns out to be well-founded. Just ask longtime TV repairman Mike Nixon what he used to think of customers.
They were basically putty in your hands. They had no way of knowing what was wrong with their television or what needed to be done to it or how much it would cost.
Florida investigator Rick Beasler has spent years going after crooked repairmen.
From our investigation, we would estimate that millions of dollars a year nationally would be lost to dishonest repair people.
So what are your chances of getting a fair shake at a repair shop? To try to find out, we took these 15 machines, different models of VCRs, compact disc players, and personal computers, to repair shops across the Washington, D.C. area. The one twist was, we knew what was wrong with all of them. We knew because we'd put the problems there ourselves. Electronics expert Jeff Atkinson led a team of technicians who went over our 15 machines to make sure they were working well. Then they introduced a flaw into each machine that would be easy to spot and fix.
Capstan belt should be underneath.
On our VCRs, a rubber belt was slipped off its drive wheel. On the CD players and computers, an internal plug was disconnected and laid to the side. So these were all minor repair jobs?
Minor. Minimum labor, 1 hour.
And any new parts?
No new parts, no. None whatsoever.
And should have been in terms of the cost to the consumer?
Cost-wise, anywhere from $35 to $60.
Once all the machines were ready, we had producer Kathleen Pierce play the part of the helpless consumer. She took our machines to repair shops, big chain stores and small independents chosen at random. After the machines were fixed, she went back a few days later to pick them up, and we went along with a hidden camera.
I'm picking up my Kenwood CD.
This repair shop in Virginia didn't charge us a few dollars to reconnect that loose plug. Instead,
It's got a new laser in it. The laser is actually the brains and the whole most expensive part in the unit.
It sure was. The bill was $224. That's more than this CD player sells for, brand new.
I can't believe that the laser was bad because it's a fairly new machine.
Yeah, they come bad right out of the box.
What makes lasers go bad?
They wear out. They have, it's like a light bulb.
We didn't do any better with some of our other repairs. At this big computer store in Arlington, Virginia, instead of just reconnecting a plug, they said they had to do a much bigger job.
What was the deal on it?
I replaced the keyboard. It wouldn't respond to the system board.
So it was cheaper to pay $165 and get a new keyboard, you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Then
It's not repairable. Keyboard is not repairable.
To fix a VCR, we picked a service center that boasts 32 skilled technicians. But we were barely in the door when one of the owners figured he knew what was wrong before he even looked inside the machine.
It's an idler assembly, which probably needs to be replaced, and you're looking at somewhere around $100, $120. Our standard estimate range is $80 to $130.
Repair experts say you should never approve work before you know what the problem is. But we went along and okayed anything up to $130. We weren't surprised a few days later when the bill came to $135.65.
I'm just wondering why it was so expensive.
That's not real expensive.
They claimed they'd had to do all kinds of complicated work.
I mean, it's not one part. It's a servo mechanism and all the moving parts in there. So you have a lot of tape guides and switches.
Once we'd had our machines repaired, our experts looked them over to check out all the work we'd paid for. That big repair job on the VCR, Atkinson couldn't find a trace of it.
All the things they said they did, to the disk assembly, to the servo circuit, they didn't do any of it?
No, they didn't do anything to this. They put the belt back on and sent it out of here. They probably didn't even clean it.
But they charged us $135.
They stole $135.
And what about that new keyboard for the computer at a cost of $168?
Well, they sold us our old keyboard back. They did not replace it. And it should have been just a minimum repair on this again. $35 to $55, reinstall the connector, test it, and out the door.
If we were surprised by what happened to us, repairman Mike Nixon wasn't. He estimates half the industry is crooked. He described one scam he was a part of.
If a certain size television came in, it was going to be a certain price, no matter how much or what needed to be done to it.
How much would a repair for this TV cost?
$190.
And how about if I had one of those big screen TVs?
Probably $700.
But you're saying that the cost of the repair depended on the expense of the TV. It had nothing to do with what was wrong with the TV.
That's right.
After inspecting all our repaired machines, we tallied the results. Only 3 shops did a thorough, honest job. 4 others were borderline cases. The remaining 8...
flat out stole your money. Ripped you off.
You're telling us that our worst fears, every paranoid thought we ever had...
That's true. You have no idea what they're going to do to your unit. You're at their mercy when you walk in their door.
But we weren't at their mercy. We went back, armed with the facts and our PrimeTime cameras, to demand some explanations. We expected apologies, perhaps refunds.
What is problem?
The problem is that you charged us $97.
Instead, we got some hard lessons in the rules of the repair game.
This laser didn't work when you unhooked that wire.
Rule number 1, what the customer doesn't know won't hurt him. The store that charged us $224 to fix our CD player, they insisted they really had found a defective laser in our machine.
He probably put test probes to the laser and the laser didn't work. You can't fix a laser.
Didn't work?
Because it would have had output and he would have never replaced it if it did.
Sounds good. The problem is we'd sent that old laser to the manufacturer, who tested it and found it was in perfect working order.
And here's their letter. They say nothing's wrong with the laser. It's in perfect condition.
So what's your point here? What are you trying to do? You come in here sabotaging your player.
You don't understand the point?
I don't understand you sabotaging your player and telling us to fix it.
Because we wanted to see whether you do it honestly, and you didn't.
We'll take your business somewhere else.
Later, this store wrote to us, insisting our disconnected plug created the same symptoms as a bad laser. They said, quote, any competent technician might easily have performed the same repair. But their letter didn't offer our $224 back.
Kim is the owner. Kim is the one that repaired it.
At another store, rule number 2, blame the other guy. We were looking for owner John Kim, because here they charged us $98 for parts they never installed in our VCR. One of his employees defended the boss.
If he's made the mistake, he's an honest person.
But when Kim finally appeared, they went in the back for a quick strategy session.
The parts hadn't been put in the set.